I'm Christine Grail. I'm with Leica Geosystems. I'm here today with Rob Jickling, who is the founder and principal of Element6 Solutions in Ontario, Canada. Also joining us is Greg Schneider, who is our reality capture expert serving Northern US and Canada. And we wanted to talk today a little bit about how important it is to be able to turn around projects in industrial plant very quickly, to be able to capture data quickly and be able to deliver the solution as rapidly as possible. Rob, you have a lot of experience in this field. Element6 Solutions is a leader in applying reality capture. And I wanted to, first of all, ask you if you could tell us a little bit about your company and the types of work you do.
Yes, we're a fairly new engineering firm that provides reality capture, 3D laser scanning, and what we like to refer to as our virtual plant design workflow, which goes from scan through to 3D model with drawings ready for fabrication and construction. We've been on board with Leica since the beginning, started out with the BLK 360 and quickly adapted, growing our arsenal of tools and capabilities with the Register 360, P30, and now we have 3 RTC 360s and a couple total stations.
Yeah, you've scaled up this quickly in just the last 2 years, right, Rob, since we started together in 2018?
We got the BLK late 2017. We bought the first P30 June of 2018. So in less than 2 years, we've done all that.
Okay.
Along with several licenses of all the different software in the workflow.
And one of the things that you've noticed is just how quickly you've been able to turn around projects to your clients. I think you have a recent example that you wanted to share with us.
Absolutely. That's why shortly after buying the P30, when the RTC 360 came out, we knew we needed to get on top of that, staying at the forefront of productivity and being able to deliver much quicker the data to our clients. So we just had a recent example where one of our technicians went to a local manufacturing facility, spent 2 days on site, and in those 2 days we were able to capture roughly 250 setups, bring it back to the office, import it over the weekend, and have a registered point cloud by Monday morning, having ended scanning on a Friday.
That's impressive. Do you have anything that you could show us along with that project today?
Sure. I've got a little screen cap here, if you'd like, from Jetstream of that of what we've of the facility, the sort of a bird's eye view. You can see there's quite a few scans, quite a few setups. This is from the latest version of Register 360. You can see that we don't have the yellow pyramids anymore, but onto the red globes.
For each of those setups, Rob, what kind of scan time, setup time do you have per setup? I'm assuming you're capturing a full dome point cloud and the image with that?
Absolutely. One of the things that was very transformative for us was the ability to be able to justify capturing the full dome imagery. Back in the old days with the P30, the focus was on data. Photography took too long, so we didn't use it as much as we do now. Now everything we do is that way. Almost every plant we do is full dome HDR photography and 6mm scan. So we're at the minute 51.
Minute 51, so 51 seconds for the scan and then a minute for the full dome HDR image?
Correct.
Okay.
And so what that's enabled us to do is really over any of the other tools in the marketplace that we've either rented in the past or owned, we've been able to probably easily do work in a quarter of the time.
Okay.
And that's a conservative estimate in the field, which means we get into the field, we get out of the field, we're not in the client's way, we're not a risk in the plant, it's not an interruption. And so the response from clients has been fabulous. In fact, I would say for us, it's given us a competitive advantage in the marketplace.
All right. So what's your scan crew look like? Are you doing is your scan team just one person out in the field?
We have about, I think it's 4 or 5 people now that are trained and
Okay.
seasoned in scanning and registration. Our people are all cross-trained. They've come from a variety of backgrounds, from CAD designers through to master's degree chemical engineers. We like to put people in the field that actually understand the use of data in a manufacturing chemical process plant. So in order to do that, you need to understand modeling, you need to understand the equipment and the types of ways you'd use these tools so you can effectively plan and execute data collection. It requires,
Okay.
Greg, it really requires a high level of large quantity of data and a lot of setups to make sure you get all around this equipment and in all the corners and nooks and crannies.
Sure. So from their experience with designing, they know their client that they're working for, they're able to get the scans in the locations that they need them, and they're able to do that just one person then in the field with the RTC 360.
Absolutely. Between the RTC 360, we're running Field 360, giving some verification, creating some preliminary link ups, feeding that back in through the workflow with Reg 360, has optimized and created a productive workflow that I could never have imagined when I started into this a couple of years ago.
Sure. So in terms of the registration, you bring the data in. I know the data is stored on a USB stick. You transfer that data to your workstation, and then is it just simply a drag and drop of each area of the plant into Register 360? Could you kind of describe, sort of that process, and then how long it took to put the 285 scans or whatever that number was together?
Yeah, so we would bring it in. Quite honestly, I don't normally drag and drop to the desktop and use time to transfer such large amounts of data. I haven't found that to be necessarily highly productive because we're doing it off hours. So on a Friday night, I'll have a stick, I'll throw it in a computer, drag and drop, or do the browse and open function, and just let it grind.
Okay.
So when you're doing things from night, you can come in the morning, you'll have it. So the data last Friday was brought to my house. I put it into my laptop, set it to function, and by Saturday morning I was doing registration with my coffee.
So you're able to go out to the field, very quickly capture the data so that it's a comprehensive data set from the entire facility, come back to the office, very quickly turn it all around into a deliverable for the client. And then the value of that, I would think, is that you can continue to go back into that data set. Now that you've captured all that data, continue to go back into that data set and pull whatever measurements, whatever details are needed as that plant moves forward.
100%. Client came to us on this exact data set. The client came to us this week and just said, hey, we're having a production issue. We need to add some inline equipment on 3 different process units. They're not huge changes, but having the data gave us the ability to go in, understand what changes would need to be made, and actually be able to, through Jetstream and CloudWorks, be able to start the modeling of that piping for them.
Okay, so yeah, no kidding. So is CloudWorks then is your plugin you use inside of AutoCAD for design, right?
Absolutely. We have 3 licenses of CloudWorks Ultimate. So we use CloudWorks in AutoCAD. We also use it in Navisworks. We use it daily. It's our whole workflow is every single project has point clouds, and everything is designed in point cloud in Plant 3D or CADWorks using CloudWorks.
And I would think that for your clients, the benefit is that it's really a seamless process. They don't have to do anything different. They don't need any different software. You're providing information to them in a format that they are used to handling and that they can very easily visualize what's going on in their facility.
Correct. When there's free viewers out there, so a lot of companies are just starting to really get through the technology in a brownfield scenario, which is what we do most of our work in. Clients aren't used to having deliverables in 3D because there was no really good way to deal with the as-built condition. So being that we have point cloud, CloudWorks, et cetera, we can start modeling things and share model pieces with point cloud embedded in Navisworks, and they can now use a free viewer and open those and play and see scenarios. We have other clients where we have 600 and 700 set up point clouds for their facilities. And currently we've been for this one client, I bet almost every week there's a new scenario of a new piece of equipment. They're closing a plant. Oh, how's this going to fit? How are we going to do that? Can you just show me this? And we're able to respond and within a day or two say, hey, here's a mock-up of what you think you want to do. And here's the issues. Here's the pipe that you could be hitting, or here's the conduits, or here's something you need to move, or this is where you need to put your control panel, or you're too close to things. So we can, people that are getting involved in this workflow with us as clients are starting to see the real power of actually being able to visualize things in a manner that you never can see in two-dimensional conventional drawings.
So if you were talking to a plant that's looking at, okay, I need to get data out of my plant for whatever reason, I've got to get it quickly. What would be the key takeaways that you would want them to understand based on your experience using laser scanning?
I mean, I think you want them to, I always like to lead with the fact that we use Leica Geosystems, that we're sort of a technical partnership, if you will, with you folks, and that the RTC 360 is the most productive device available in the market to do this job. So we can get in and get out in a quarter of the time, worst case scenario, over almost everything else out there. And then from our business perspective, because we have 3 of these, we'll almost always, if it's more than a single scan day job, we'll almost always, if possible, send two scanners to site to try and get in and get this knocked off.
So it's fast, it's easy, high productivity, and it's comprehensive. You get what you need out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. The data quality is great. It's awesome in the plant environment because we're taking so many scans. They're so close together to try and get all the different angles. It's the perfect tool.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Rob. I appreciate it. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Bye now.
Bye for now.